In this video, we are going to write a program that takes a string that's entered by the user. We are then going to convert it to Unicode values, and then we are going to take those Unicode values and convert it back to the original string entered by the user, right? So kind of like a little decoder, right? A little decoder, well, encoder and decoder system, okay? So let's try this, okay? I'm just going to wing it here from scratch. And let's just write our little decoder program, okay? Our little decoder program. And I'm going to call the decoder function. And let's ask the user for an input string, okay? We'll just call it input string, and then we'll ask them to input a string, input a sentence. How's that? Input a sentence. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, and then what I want to do, right, like we did in a prior video, is say for every letter in that input string, right, I want to convert that letter to Unicode. Convert letter to Unicode. Okay. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to build a string, right, of all these values like I did before. Okay. So I'm going to use, right, the accumulator pattern. Message equals blank, okay? And then inside of here, I'm going to say that the message, and this is going to be the message that we then try to decode back to what the user typed in, equals the message, which happens to be blank during the first iteration of the loop, plus the ORD of the letter, okay? So this is going to create after the loop here, and I'll just print out message so you can see what's going on. Okay, we'll just call it decoder, and I have one already, so I'll just save that. I'll run it this time, and let me just show you. Okay, I'll just say Bruce is super cool. Okay. Oh, and I get an error. Okay, so it says can't convert int object to string implicitly, because what it's trying to do here, right, is take a string, which is called message, right here, and add a number to it. So what I have to do is convert that number to a string, str. That'll convert it to a string. So let me run it, and what did I enter before? Bruce is not very super cool. Okay, and you see I have a big string of numbers there. Now, there's a problem with that, okay? We need, okay, when we build this, we need to add a space between each number. And I just did that right here. I said add a space. Just add a space. Okay? So actually, let's see, the message, right, plus a space plus the number. Okay? Yeah, that works. Or let me just show you some. Let's run it. Let's just do it. It's all good. It's code, right? This is what we do. Okay? And I'll just type Bruce. I'll put my cursor there. Bruce is hungry. Okay, look at that. So you see we have a bunch of numbers, right? Okay, really good. Okay, really good. Now, watch this. Let's say, right, there is the print message. Let's say we want to take that message now. Message equals message dot split. Okay, and then let's print out message. Okay, because let me tell you, I can't really operate on that string with the spaces, right? This string right here, it's programmatically a little bit more difficult, right, to loop and do things with that. So if you remember correctly, right, you can take a string and split it, and then it'll split it by default on a space, and then convert that to a list, right? So let me show you. Let me run it, and I'll just say Bruce is hungry. Now look what it did. See the 66, 114, 117, whatever? It converted it into a list. And as you know, because we're in week 6 now of Intro to Programming, okay, you can now iterate through, right? So I can say for every let's just call it for every character, in the message. Now remember what message is, right? It's a list containing all of those values, right, from the conversion up here, these ORD things, and they happen to be strings, right? So watch this. Now if I say print out the CHR of the character, okay, I'll let you go look up CHR. It's also covered in the book. And watch this. Check this out. Run. Let's just see what happens here. Bruce is hungry. Oh, I got an error because it says an integer is required, and that happens to be right here. This thing needs to be an integer, so I'm going to force it to an integer because it was a string. Okay, you're learning all these little tricks. Okay, now I'll just say Bruce is hungry. And look what it did, right? It converted and gave me back the original thing that I typed in. Ooh. So in order to make this work the way we want to end, right, each thing here with nothing. Okay, nothing, right? No space, no nothing. So watch. Ready? Run. Bruce is hungry. And look at it, gave it us back. It gave it back. It gave us back the string that we typed in. Whoa, pretty nifty. So the first thing we did, and I'll just add some comments here. Okay, so you can see the code. And again, this is pretty much from the book. And of course, my cursor went away. Who did that? So let me just relaunch Python here. I hate when that happens. I don't know why it happens on my Mac, but it does. Recent files. Yeah, that's it right there. So let's enter in ask for input. And then this is part of our accumulator, but we're not accumulating numbers. We're accumulating characters, right? Set message to empty string. And then we are going to loop through each character in the string. Okay, convert letter to Unicode, and then we're going to concatenate, right, or accumulate it to prior value. Okay, and remember why I added the space here, right? Because some of the Unicode values that come back are 3 digits, some are 2, etc. Okay, and then we're going to print out, right? Print out a string of Unicode characters. Okay, and then we are going to split the string, right, into a list, okay, of strings. Okay, that's what this guy does. And then we print it out, and then we are going to loop through every list item and convert back, okay, to character. Okay, and again, that's done with this CHR. And as we saw, right, our list contains strings, and we are converting them to integers because the CHR function requires integers. So let's just look at that one more time. Okay, Bruce is hungry. Okay, now look at this. See these numbers inside of here? See, they're strings because they have the quotes around them. That's why we need to force them back to int or integer. So you just wrote a little encoder and decoder program, okay? So I'm going to leave that up here. It's a little bit different in the textbook. I just, winged it. So this is really, really important to know how to do all this kind of stuff, okay? So I will post this code in Slack right after I post the video.